First of all, I want to thank everybody that traveled, all the media that traveled out here to be a part of this. I've been saying since day one, the thing that makes Penn State special is the people, and that's these guys, our players, that's the fans, that's the media, that's the administration, that's everybody, our entire community. So just really happy for these guys. I think a couple things. We didn't play the prettiest game today. We did the things that you typically can't do. We had too many penalties and we had turnovers. But the more important thing is these guys never stopped believing in each other, never stopped believing in the program, and they found a way to win. And that's a very, very important ingredient to have. And we have that. Those other things, the turnovers and the penalties, we can clean those things up. What I'm most proud of is when times got tough and they went down and scored, that receiver made a huge play for them. And the momentum swung. There was only a minute or so left in the game. And I looked across the sideline, and there wasn't doubt in anybody's eye. Everybody believed. They believed in Hack. They believed in Zettel. They believed in Ficken, who's going to be in here in a minute. And that's what I'm most proud of. And I'm proud that these fans can get back on the plane and fly back happy and enjoy themselves. And then, we're going to get back to work again tomorrow, I guess, right? So, open it up for questions.
Can you take us through the last 10 seconds or so? It looked like you thought the ball was out of bounds, and then you had to quickly burn a timeout. How did things kind of play out there?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into the some of the things that went on during the game, but yeah, I thought the guy was out of bounds. If he did wind the clock, he wound it late. So we ended up having to burn a timeout. But the most important thing is, Hack and the guys did a great job of managing the timeouts through the game, and the coaching staff. So we had them. So we had the timeout to burn. So we're really, really pleased with that. But there's no doubt, there was some issues kind of throughout the game, and that was one of them.
Were you going to run another play there, James? Or
we were going to try to center the ball
and
then call a timeout. But when Hack lined up to center the ball, they started winding the clock.
Yeah.
So we just burned the timeout there and then lined it up and kicked it.
James, you celebrated with Ficken. You called him over specifically. Well, what did that mean, do you think, to Sam to be able to kick that?
Well, these guys will tell you better than me. I mean, that guy's had as consistent of a spring and summer as anybody on our team. He's been money. I'm just happy for him because he's had an interesting career. He really has. It's probably the best way to describe it. But it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And he's a perfect example in this life, in this program. If you just stay positive and you persevere and you keep working, good things will happen.
Coach, UCF had that veteran secondary. It seemed like you guys weren't afraid to challenge the deep ball. Talk a little bit about what kind of preparation the secondary has.
Well, I think number one, you guys know we got a special guy playing quarterback. What the question was there going to be the players around him from an inexperienced standpoint to make plays? And they did. I mean, Geno Lewis made some unbelievable plays today, circus catches. I think Hamilton broke the freshman record. So many positives. Jesse made some plays early on that were really important. I thought overall our protection was pretty good, but I think Hack's mobility, like we talked about, I think he's a much better athlete than people realize or give him credit to, and he was able to extend plays and run for some first downs today. So I think it's really, really important, and I think obviously the defense stepped up at time and time again when we needed them.
Coach, you talk about how the momentum, you guys withstood the momentum shift. It seemed to shift when they brought in their second team quarterback, Justin Holman, in the second half. Can you just talk about his play and what that did for their team?
Yeah, he's got mobility, which is helpful, just like Hack. He threw a ball up down the middle of the field that I think we had pretty well covered, and just misplayed the ball. The receiver came down with it, and from there he got confidence, and they got confidence and got some momentum, and then it became a ball game. It got exciting at that point. We talked with the people from Croke Park, and they really wanted us to win it in the last 10 seconds or so for TV ratings and everything else. So that's what I talked to these guys about at halftime. So let's find a way to make it interesting and then win it in the last 10 seconds to go in the game.
James, what does winning a game in this manner, what can it do for a young team?
I think there's so many things. You're on the road. You're really on the road. We were the away team. We had penalties, we had turnovers, we weren't always perfect, but we found a way to win. And that ingredient is what people are searching for all the time. We try to instill it in practice. We try to instill it in meetings, what it takes to win and what it takes to be successful, not just in football, but in life. We believe everything that we do on the football field has parallels to life. And these guys are winners. They really are. And I think those other things we can spend time on film and in meetings correcting. But the only time we were stopped tonight was when we stopped ourselves.
Coach, what was your biggest surprise and your biggest disappointment today?
There's nothing that I'm disappointed about because all the things that happened today are opportunities for growth and opportunities to learn. The thing that I wouldn't say surprised, but I was really pleased with was the guys around Hack that stepped up and made plays for him. I thought our defense really played well early on, allowed our offense to kind of work through some kinks. But I wouldn't say there's anything I was overly surprised with. Probably the one thing was we didn't have headsets for the whole first quarter. We had no headsets. We had no form of communication whatsoever. I wouldn't know if I would necessarily describe it as a surprise, but it was interesting.
How come you guys didn't have it in the first quarter?
I really wanted to say something right there, but I'm going to watch myself. I don't know. They didn't work. And where I learned something today. Way I understand the rules, when your headsets go out, they have to turn theirs off. But the officials informed me today that rule changed. That rule changed. They didn't have to. So we didn't have headsets.
Christian, you went to Hamilton so much early, and it's his first game. You must have seen something in workouts.
I think Deshaun is one of those guys that's worked extremely hard, and he came in with me obviously, so I knew the type of player he was, and just like Gino, just like our tight ends, when you give him an opportunity, he's going to go up and make the play and make the effort. So I think Deshaun's work ethic is the reason why I trusted him so much. He's a guy that shows up every day at practice and is consistent with what he does. So, I'm confident with him against any.
Were you thinking about that pre-game? This is this guy's chance. I know he can do the job, or is it just something that worked out that way?
No, I think Deshaun just came out and made plays. He got open. He did what he had to do, and just like a lot of the other guys. Gino made 2 or 3 ridiculous catches. I think the guys really stepped up. They understood what they had to do, and they made plays.
What's your mindset, Christian, with a minute to go after they score? You're coming back out on the field, and you need to score.
Yeah, that's a testament, I think, that goes back to our practice field. We were a team that I would say struggled at 2-minute when we first put it in the spring. And then I feel like, as camp went on, the team really started to buy into it. And, again, it's just like it was last year. We practiced it so much. These guys do a great job putting us in situations where we have to be perfect to succeed. And I think today, guys went out and they wanted it. They made plays when they needed to make plays, and they finished.
What was the huddle like after they took the lead there, a minute left or whatever?
We were excited. I think this team's been there before. This team's been down before, a lot of these guys. So I think, even though we were young, we understood what we could do. And, again, Gino came out, made plays. I think Bill made a fantastic play to get out of bounds right there. So I think it's just one of those things where guys stepped up and it really just fell in line
When you
for us.
scrambled, you see, it's so quick and just see.
Yeah, I knew it was 4th down, so I knew I had to. If I was going to go, I had to go, and I hit it, and just tried to get as much as I could.
Anthony, the bottom of the pile with Wilson, number 7. I believe you might have. Just tell us what happened at the bottom of that pile.
Just football. We just ripped it out. We both had a hold of it, and I had 2 hands on it, and my teammates helped me out. They was pulling me too, so that's basically
Andy, this is like a game that pulls the defense together. So many times you guys are put in tough spots, bad field position, but you generally were holding on most of those. Is it kind of brings you guys together?
Yeah, as a team and as a defense, I feel like we're really close, like knit and tight. We're all like good friends on and off the field, and it makes it basically when you get out in the field, everything comes together like you do. So.
Christian, you've obviously had a lot of faith in these guys you've been throwing to, but to be able to go out this early in the year and have the success that you had today with these new targets, how much does that help the offense this early in the year moving forward?
I think it's something that we can lean on. Obviously, we look to be a very well-rounded team, and again, it's a testament to how hard those guys work in the off season. And, everyone thought that was going to be the big question mark. That was one of the things that we were very confident in. We knew we had playmakers outside. You guys just haven't seen them yet, or a lot of them yet. So I think these guys are going to continue to get better. It's going to be something that we can build on. But, I think that there were some mistakes, and we got to build those, fix those to continue to get better. The goal is to always improve. And I think that these guys today, gave us a lot of good, a great foundation, a lot of film, a lot of things to correct, and a lot of things to build on.
400 yards passing for you, Christian. Now, you're the first player to ever do that here. And you guys won the game. Does that number, 400 yards, has that sunk in for you at all?
Again, I think it's a testament to a lot of pieces to that puzzle. The offensive line that everyone was out there doubting, I think, played a very good game. Defense sort of threw a lot of stuff at them there towards the end of the game, and they held strong and did their part. And again, the receivers came out. Blitz zero, Gino runs a zero beater and goes and makes a fantastic catch off the tip. And I think, that's one of those things where, again, something we can build on, something we continue to go. And it was an overall team effort.
Everybody, excuse me 1 second. So we'll take a couple more questions for Coach and Anthony and Christian, and then we're gonna let them go. And we have other players available on the other side of the stadium. All right, and you can talk to Sam after that. Okay, thanks.
When the new quarterback came in, the momentum changed a little bit. What adjustments did you guys have to make as a defense?
We had to understand that he was a little more of a running quarterback, so as a defense, we didn't really, it was more of Coach Shoop's adjustment, and we just kind of went through plays, which he called, so it wasn't so much adjustment. We had to understand that he could get around the edge a little bit, so we had to be more disciplined. So.
Anthony, could you feel the sort of their team lift up when he came in? Or how do you?
I think the whole game, there was a lot of swings with momentum and stuff, so I couldn't really judge swing when he went in, but the whole game was just a battle. So.
Coach, given the extra preparations and work that kind of went into putting this kind of game, this kind of event together, how much more rewarding is it to walk out with a win?
I wouldn't necessarily say it was more rewarding. I hope it was a great experience for the fans. We did do some unique things that I think is always great from a cultural perspective for the players. But for the most part, it was a business trip. We would have been happy to play this game at State College High School. It just happened to be in Ireland. Most important thing is our guys, found a way to get a win. We stayed healthy, and we're going to get on that plane and go back and get back to work again.
Where did football in Ireland to go from here after today?
Oh, I have no idea, but I hope maybe people get excited about it and it grows more than it already is. But you guys got some pretty cool games here as well. We saw that, right?
Did you tell us what your experience overall in Ireland was a positive one?
It was great. People were unbelievable. The food was great. The hotel was great. The people from the Croke Park, their hospitality was first class from the time we stepped off the plane till the end. I would actually hope that they'll get a chance to come and visit us for one of our home games. We'd love to have them as a guest of ours. But it was unreal. We had a great experience. You guys heard me say from the beginning, all the stuff that went into it. I wasn't real excited about the trip with everything that was going into it, and I thought it could be a distraction. But in the end, I think it was a real positive experience, and couldn't be more blessed and fortunate to have had the opportunity.
James, you already said you were going to party all the way back on the plane. You said that out on the field. How much fun is the plane ride back after a win?
Unbelievable. Gatorade, Chick-fil-A sandwiches, it's gonna be, water. We're going to enjoy it. I mean, that's kind of what we do. We're really going to enjoy the wins and enjoy it. But by the time we land, it's going to be morning time. The coaches will go right into the office. The players hopefully will get some sleep, and then we'll be practicing, that evening. We'll do a walkthrough practice that evening. We give our players off on Monday from an academic perspective so they can load up with some lab classes and things like that, and then we'll get back to work on Tuesday. So not a whole lot of time.
Frank, one more.
Coach, when you saw that their top running back was out, how did that change the game plan for how you guys attack the run?
I don't think it really changed because I think our defense from the beginning of the game to the end did a great job of stopping the run. Settle and the boys, I thought the way he called it. You talk about the momentum shifted when he came in. I don't really think the momentum shifted when he came in. When that receiver made a big play for him on the long balls, I think when the momentum swung a little bit. But I thought our defense did a great job of stopping the run all night long.
Christian, does it feel a little bit better beating UCF than if it was another team, considering last year's game in Happy Valley?
I wouldn't say So either way, I mean, I think it was a great team, and it's a great opportunity. You know, obviously there was a little bit of a sour taste in our mouths after that game because of all the ifs, ands, and buts about that game. But I think being able to come out and win it the way we won it, you know, against a very veteran defense, and you know, our defense came out and played well, and our young offense came out and played well. So I think it's something that we can build on.
That's one of the things that I would like to say, Jeff, just kind of in ending. You know, that team won 12 games last year. You know, they beat Baylor in a bowl game, a big bowl game. That's a veteran team with a veteran coach, and what these guys did today, I think means a lot. It means a lot for our program going forward. All respect in the world to Central Florida and how they've done things. It was a great game, and we look forward to taking the next step next week.
Okay, Coach, Christian, thank you.